The long-awaited, much-requested finale to the Stevonnie series with her accessories.
Alright, so to start, this cosplay called for a lot of glittery stars. I bought these two silicone molds off of Amazon. The smaller one is 25mm and the bigger one is a 40mm. And I'm just using clear polyester casting resin to make all of them. So really quick, some safety precautions. Resin is highly toxic, so please wear a ventilative mask and gloves when working with this stuff and try to work outdoors. So for my stars, I wanted a very layered and glittery look. So to achieve this, I first did a small, probably 8-inch layer of just clear resin down on the bottom of the mold. Once that was dry, I laid in some gold stars that were small and a little bit bigger on top of that dried layer. Then lastly, I mixed up a batch of really glittery resin. So I did gold glitter, iridescent glitter, just a mixture, a lot of glitter. And I poured that mixture in to fill up the mold. Make sure to tap your mold on a hard surface to release any air bubbles and let the resin cure. Depending on the type of resin you bought or how much catalyst you added, this could take a matter of minutes to a matter of hours. Once the resin is fully cured, go ahead and release them from the molds. Now, because these are silicone molds, they will not need any release agent of any type, and when you pop the resin out, it should have a nice shiny finished surface. So yeah, I just made a bunch of these with a variety of glitters, with lighter, darker, just whatever I thought I was gonna need, I made a bunch. So firstly, really easily, I made the anklet. It is just pearls strung on an elastic band, and then I had to add one of the resin stars. To do this, I just drilled a really small hole into the top and strung it through the extra elastic that I used to tie the anklet together. And there we have an anklet. Now for the floral headband. So this is the most Art Nouveau piece of the whole costume, and essentially it's just a plastic hairband. You can get it from the dollar store or online. And then I just bought lots of varieties of faux roses from the craft store, and I glued them on. To make sure they stay on pretty well, go ahead and sand the plastic of the headband down, and I just used hot glue and glued roses on until it looked pretty. And then in the original design, there are pearls all over the headband, so I ended up gluing little pearls onto the roses, as well as stringing them so they hang down over my hair. To make the strings, I'm using clear fishing line or clear sewing thread, and just tying pearls onto the string, letting some string loose, tying another pearl, and then tying that onto the headband. And that is how I created these nice dangly pearls that floated over my hair. And yes, these get tangled very easily when I'm wearing it, and when I'm storing it, it's a whole mess. What is even happening here? But it looks really pretty when it's on.
Finally, we're gonna go ahead and just hot glue on the resin casted stars. Very last minute, I actually bought a battery controlled LED strip from Amazon. It's small, maybe only about 3 feet long, and I just twisted it around the already completed headband and hot glued the battery pack into place in a very easily accessible place so you can turn it on and off. And I just thought this was a really good last minute touch to make the headband light up. And now for the bracelets, which I based off of the red and blue glow sticks that Steven and Connie have. Alright, I am actually missing the footage of the actual foam and fibra construction for these. And that's actually why this video never came out, and people kept commenting, asking for it, so I'm doing it anyway. I'm actually going to use footage from me making the little chest piece on the shirt because I made the bracelets the same way. Alright, so we're just going to pretend I'm making the bracelets. I cut out a long rectangle of craft foam long enough to go around my wrist, and then I cut out 2 smaller strips, I think they're about an 1/8 inch, and then contact cemented them to the sides. Then I wrapped the entire thing in fibra, as you can see here, except imagine it's a bracelet. And remember to not choke on your words. Remember that fibra is self-adhesive, so to make the strip of rectangle into a bangle, you just heat up the fibra so it's flexible, wrap it around, and attach it to itself to make a bracelet. Finally, the last little detail of those stripy lines and that one big wavy line, that was done in puffy paint, fabric puffy paint. And once all that is done, spray paint him gold. The color of the blue and red is just basic acrylic paints, and I hand painted them in with a little teeny tiny little brush. Careful not to get it on any of the gold striping details. With a little bit of distractions right here, but I mean, sure, you've got dogs, cats that also offer up crafting distractions. Same with birds, there's no excuse. But once the base colors were laid in, I thought it was a little too flat, so I went into each cavity and applied a lighter color as a highlight, and that still was not enough for me, so I bedazzled the whole thing with some flatback rhinestones. And now for the belts. The original Sunset Dragon design does not have a belt. Most importantly, it does not have Stevonnie's gem, or Steven's gem. And as a way to incorporate the gem into the Stevonnie design, I put it on a nice Art Nouveau gold sparkly belt. The belt itself is just craft foam, and I decorated it similarly to the bracelets and the chest shirt thing. I don't even know what to call that. That gold thing on the front of the chest. The star design in the center of the belt is just to mimic Rose Quartz's design and to give Stevonnie a star, because, you know, it's the symbol of the crystal gems. I needed to get that star in there, and putting it around the Rose Quartz gem was just perfect. I did purchase this gem. It is from Hamster Parade, and I will link her Etsy below. The rest just involved painting and embellishing it to match the rest of the costume. I did leave mine just the craft foam. However, if you want it to be a little bit more stable, you can cover it in Fibra, just like we did the bracelets. Personally, I just did not have enough Fibra at my house at the time of building this to cover the whole thing. Doing that will make it more stable and last longer. I did notice like the tips, the points of the star were bending and the paint did crack and some of the pearls fell off. So Fibra will make it stronger, or Worbla, whatever you have thermoplastic wise. However, I will say that the craft foam held up just fine, and I wore this to many conventions. Oh, and there is Velcro on the back. That's how it stays on. Super easy. I just contact cemented the Velcro into the craft foam. And there we have it. The Art Nouveau Stevonnie series is finally complete. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!
Where is any end? Is this an end? This looks like an end. I can't do it. I'm cutting them apart.